Happy Monday, everybody. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I hope you spent some time with your families, hopefully relaxing. Are you guys watching anything good on Netflix or on Crave or on Prime right now? I am watching a show, but I'm almost done, so if you guys have any recommendations, you guys should hit me up on Teams because I am looking for something to watch. So I hope you had a really relaxing weekend. I know I did. So today we are going to do like our last little bit of government here before I give you guys like a bigger project. So you guys are going to have a little bit of review today, and then we're gonna learn just like one more quick thing, and then you guys have a project. So without further ado, maybe grab a coffee. I have mine here. Grab a drink of water, grab a snack, grab your note-taking stuff, and let's get learning. So one thing that we just need to quickly go over just to review is, what is Canada's government anyway? What do we call it? What kind of system do we have? So if you remember, like way back to the beginning of this unit when we actually started it in class, we talked about two terms. One was called a constitutional monarchy, and the other one was called a representative democracy. So the first term that I just want to quickly review is a constitutional monarchy. What does it mean? Well, in order to remember what this means, we need to review our constitution, and remember that a constitution is basically like ground rules that a country has to follow. It is the ground level for everything our government does. Canada's constitution is made up of three main documents, one being the Constitutional Act of 1867, another being the amending formula, and the third, the Charter of Human Rights and Freedoms. She wants to say hello. Say happy Monday, everybody. Ooh, she does not like Mondays. Is that a Garfield thing? I think it's a Garfield thing. We learn a lot more about that charter in our next unit, so if you're kind of confused about it right now, don't worry too much. Okay, so we know what a constitution is. We know what the Canadian Constitution is, but what is a constitutional monarchy? Well, in order to remember this, we have to remember our head of state. Our head of state is Queen Elizabeth II. She is a monarch. She is the queen. Now, she can only operate within the limits of the Constitution. She can't make any decisions that are unconstitutional. So in a constitutional monarchy, political powers are shared between the government and the monarchy. So a constitutional monarchy would be the exact opposite of an absolute monarchy, where the king or the queen would have complete control, would have complete decision-making power. A constitutional monarchy, the power is shared between the government and the monarch, and they have to operate within the means of the Constitution. Canada's government can also be seen as a representative democracy, which is where the people govern the nation by electing people that will represent certain districts. So you guys learned that in last week's video when we talked about how elections work in Canada. Just because that this is the way that Canada's government works doesn't mean that's how everybody's government works. There are plenty of different types of government all over the world, and today we're just going to go over a few. So there's one type of government called dictatorship, and we don't see this very often. But basically what it means is that there's one person that will take complete control, complete power over a nation, over their military, over their lawmaking systems, and if you don't agree with what this dictator says, there would be punishments dealt out to you. Opposition is forbidden, and a lot of the time political or civil rights are limited. An example of this would be North Korea. If you would like to research more about this, please feel free. There are tons of documentaries on YouTube. It is a very interesting subject, and usually in class we go more in depth, but I just feel like because we can't have an ongoing conversation as a class, it might be best if I leave you to research it on your own. Another type of government that we don't have a lot of experience with here in Canada is something called an oligarchy. An oligarchy is where the richest of the rich run the nation, and they usually make decisions only in the rich's favor. So that leaves for a massive population both underrepresented and treated unfairly. Now, a lot of us will know who Bernie Sanders is. He was a Democratic candidate in the 2020 race, but he did just recently drop out. I'm gonna leave you a link down in the description bar below, and I think that you can probably click somewhere over here, over here, over here, over here. You can click somewhere. And he talks a little bit about how America is kind of in danger of becoming an oligarchy. So you can watch that if you would like to. If you feel like you kind of get the gist from here, that's totally fine. But I'm gonna leave you the link so that you can kind of see what a politician has to say about something like that. Now, one that we go super in depth with when we're usually in class is something called an anarchy. Now, an anarchy is kind of a forbidden form of government where there's really no government at all. So people have the decisions to make their own choices about everything. There's no laws, there's no organization. Everybody has the power over themselves, and everybody only answers to themselves. So what I would like for you to do is I'm going to leave a link in Teams as well as down in the description bar, and you are going to be watching a little documentary on anarchy. This is a YouTube video. It's a mini documentary about a little place in California that kind of runs in an anarchy state. I'm not going to spoil too much for you, but it isn't too long, so I would appreciate you watching the full thing. Actually, not even the full thing. You're going to start at 3 minutes and 28 seconds, and it is only a 10-minute video. So it's a really quick watch, but it gives you a good idea of what like a modern anarchy looks like. That is it for me. Make sure that you watch that documentary because that is the rest of this video. And if you have any questions, make sure to shoot me a message on Teams. Hope you guys are doing good. You have a little assignment for tomorrow. That'll be posted tomorrow morning. Like always, I hope you guys are doing well. Stay home, stay safe. Bye.